topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Inarticulate speech, inarticulate speech of the heart. Inarticulate speech, inarticulate speech of the heart. Inarticulate speech, inarticulate speech of the heart.
Hello, and welcome to It's Your Voice, the show that hosts enriching conversations in diversity. My name is Bahia Yaksan. I am a diversity educator, and I thoroughly enjoy enriching my life by surrounding myself with diversity and offering courses and training and coachings to help others learn how to identify patterns that are from our society that have excluded people in general, and how to step away from those and develop new patterns in ourselves that are far more inclusive, create more belonging, and just make life happier with the richness of diversity. If you're interested in looking at any of my offerings, you can go to my website, which is knowwhatyouwantcoaching.wordpress.com. So today I'm super excited because we have Emma's Revolution, and I will read a little information about that, who will be the headliners this Saturday, June 7th in Davis, California, as part of a beautiful Pride celebration that's got an amazing agenda, which we'll share later. And I want to read the information about them. They have been on my show before. You might have seen them before here. We're going to also get some live music from Humphries and Sandy O. And the title of the show is We Are the Power, which is the name of one of the songs they write. So Emma's Revolution, which is Pat Humphries and Sandy O, is an award-winning activist duo. They're musicians, singers, songwriters, and they're known for their fearless, truth-telling lyrics and harmonies. Pat Humphries and Sandy O will perform live music today and share their vibrant, and I think legendary perspectives, and you'll hear why later if you don't know already. Their songs have been sung to the Dalai Lama, and they've shared stages with Peet Seeger, Holly Near, Joan Baez, the Indigo Girls, Jane Fonda, Amy Goodman, the Reverend William Barber, Bill McKibben, Reggie Harris, and many, many more. Their historical contribution to the canon of songs for justice, which are sung all over the world, is now the subject of an upcoming documentary being made by the accomplished filmmaker Tom Weidlinger. So we will hear about that too. Emma's Revolution will, we're going to talk about the power of music, that we are the power. We're going to talk about handling tyrannical times and democracy and music. And before they come on, which will be in just a minute, if you live in or near Davis, California, you can see them live in person this Saturday, June 7th. They will rock the stage as the headliners for the Davis Phoenix Coalition in the Davis Civic Park. So welcome, Pat and Sandy.
Much. Good to be here with you.
Hi there. Thanks for having us on again, Bahia.
Yes, thanks.
I'm so happy. I'm so excited that you're going to be playing live somewhere near me.
We are too. We are too. It's going to be a great Pride Festival, and we are headlining, and also Ada Vox, who was on things like The Voice or America's Got Talent. I can't remember, one of those shows, singing, but an amazing singer. So it's going to be a great event.
It will be. I think I can stop that sound. Let me just do a couple of clicks. Sorry about that. Well, we might have to deal with it. Anyway, before we show them the whole agenda, I am curious how, I don't know, do you want to start with a song? I just so much love hearing you sing in your harmonies. How do you want to start? Because there's so many things we can talk about, but I don't want to talk too much myself.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
We will do this song that you mentioned that is a new song of ours that we wrote
Where is it?
right up at the top.
Oh, there.
That we wrote when we were in Washington, D.C. in mid-February, when all of the federal workers were starting to be fired. And Pat, actually, we were on our way to a demonstration and...
Yeah, we were sitting outside the Health and Human Services building, and I just thought, oh, we have to have something that's kind of geared toward what's going on right now. And I thought it was really important to remind people that there are many more of us than there are of them. Remind everybody that really, when it comes down to it, we are the power. We just have to be willing to exert that. So here's the song on that theme.
What's your note? Oh, just because I sing with you from the top.
What?
What's your note? Because I sing with you at the top.
We are the power.
Okay.
Mhm. We are the power, and we know it in our bones. We are not alone, and we grow stronger every day. We take down the tyrants with our courage and our spirit. We are strong, and we grow stronger every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. Fueled by generations. We will not obey.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
We are strong and
we grow stronger every day. We are the workers, built this nation from the ground. We can shut this whole thing down, and we grow stronger every day. Their money and their greed won't bring the people what we need. We are strong and we grow stronger every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Fueled by generations, we will not obey. Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
We are strong and we grow stronger every day.
We are the seed and we are nurtured by the earth. In darkness is rebirth, and we grow stronger every day. We will sing and shout until we force the rich boys out. We are strong and we grow stronger every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Fueled by generations, we will not obey. Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
We are strong and we grow stronger every day. Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Fueled by generations, we will not obey. Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
We are strong and we grow stronger every day. We are strong and we grow stronger every day. We are strong and we grow stronger every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. Every day.
I don't know how you do those harmonies every single time. That's amazing. Oh my gosh, there's just so much to say. Like, I just love how you unapologetically say the truth. Like, it is true. You just tell the truth in your lyrics, and it just so much. The impact is so much soothing and healing and encouraging for us to use power. It's so easy to forget we have power. And I just noted, like, fueled by generations, we go stronger. That's actually true. But we can forget when we get isolated or we get tired or we get exhausted. We're balancing 3 jobs. We're getting discouraged. It's just amazing. The power. And did those words just came to you?
Yeah.
Recently?
Yeah. Yeah, but I was watching it too. I was when the federal workers were first being fired, there were not huge demonstrations around this. It was very small groups of folks that were just spontaneously showing up at all these different agencies, and all these workplaces around Washington. And a whole lot of the organizing was by young people. So, it was very exciting to see these young people just like standing up in their, sort of taking that power and saying, well, we're going to do this now, and we're going to build on this, and we're going to build on it every single day. It was, it was sort of, it was a natural thing to just sort of follow after watching this happen day after day after day. We went down, we finished our last gig in New York, and just decided to drive down and spend the week in DC. And we did demonstrations at least one a day, some two times a day. Sometimes we did a couple of benefits in the evening. We just did absolutely everything we could possibly do while we were there. And it was incredibly encouraging and exhilarating. It really recharged our batteries, which, were very much in need of recharging at the time. So yeah, it was, it was all those actions that fed the coming of that song.
And, just actually being together with people and being out in the streets. And we were going to demonstrations like against Doge and against what's his thing called? SpaceX and all sorts of things. And to be with people who felt like we did, who were feeling as traumatized and also as angry and also as, just frustrated, was really comforting to know that there were people who felt as we did. And the kind of songs that we do are meant to be sung together, right? So that song has every day, everyone else could answer every day. And that kind of thing is just like the same as chanting at a demonstration, or the same as listening to a speaker and being energized by what they say. But the participation is sort of the strength of the music that we do. So we always want to give people away if they're clapping or playing a tambourine or knocking on pots or whatever, but also singing a part. So that's always crucial to what we do. And I want to say a thank you to you for being so out front there when you were doing your introduction about who you are as a diversity, like you have diversity front and center, and you have not backed down from that. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. It's mutual. Well, I want to talk more about the participation piece, because that makes me think of that phrase, joy is resistance. But before we go more into that, which we all need in this medicine and power, I wanted to, I just learned the other day that June 1st was the 75th anniversary of when Senator Margaret Chase Smith of Maine I wrote it down. She wrote, the Declaration of Conscience, Declaration of Conscience, and it's so. She was talking about. She was trying to address McCarthyism at that time, and so many sentences in her declaration just really made me think of the incredible. I don't want to say power, the incredible attempt to truly take power out of people's hands, out of citizens' hands, and to truly take over democracy and dismantle it piece by piece. And which made me think of when you said in a couple of your lyrics, rich boys. And that is just like fact. Yeah, that is fact. There is no denying. There's a club of so rich they're out of their minds. Like the consumption, the greed has so overtaken. I think some of them actually may not have been born with empathy. I think that's possible for some of them, and I don't like to say names because I don't want to give them the airtime, frankly. But I just think the lack of empathy and the gross overgrowth of greed is so unbelievably cruel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's there are some days that like it hits me like what just one example. I mean, there's all the cruelty in our country, and sorry, sometimes the words just disappear. Like you were talking about workers being fired, people who have the right to be here being kidnapped, taken away,
Yeah.
sent to countries they're not
Mhm.
even from. That is
Mhm.
unspeakably cruel.
Yeah. Yeah.
The United States having the largest percent of supplying weapons that are causing intentional provincial famine, like
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
really starving to death people, children, mostly children in Gaza, and um and just not even setting like we could get those who were kidnapped back. There's so much we could do if
Yeah.
if the greed was not taking over who got
Yeah.
by the people
Yes.
who we put into power.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolute power does corrupt. Absolutely. There's no question. And the head of Doge, whose name shall not be mentioned, is a prime example of that. I mean, the man is really deranged. I mean, a lot of those guys are really deranged.
Hmm.
But the richest guy in the world could be doing incredible things to heal the suffering, to be addressing the real need in the world, and instead he's doing what he's doing. He's out of his
It's
mind.
Mhm.
yeah, and it's such a contrast to say a name who does deserve airtime, to what Bill Gates is doing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
who's
And I
trying
was
to feed.
thinking about I always think about Dolly Parton, who forever in her career, as soon as she had money, she made sure it went to her communities. She made sure that the money that she made on her song from Whitney Houston singing her song, that went back into the community that Whitney Houston grew up in. And
Yeah.
Taylor Swift,
Yeah, likewise.
in her Eras tour, where the tour lifted up so many communities in terms of bringing business to it. And she also gave back. I think she gave money to food pantries. She gave money to her drivers. I mean, just sharing the wealth. So there is a way to share the wealth, but there seems to be a problem with, we know there's a problem with our culture, and our culture feeds on and supports, so far until we change it, people who want it for themselves. And when you're talking about Israel and Gaza, I want to always say that there are Israeli Jewish people and Israeli Palestinians who are against what is happening in Gaza. They are against the leader of that country. And the leader of that country, just to not name names, but he is doing what the person who's leading our country right now did. He's trying to stay out of jail and out of prison and out of the court. And we really could have another world, and that we could create in a way that affirms democracy, affirms diversity, affirms caring for each other, and affirms caring for our planet. We need to make it happen. That's part of the power we need to show, and we certainly are showing it. I just want to let folks know, and I'm sure you've seen it on the news, hopefully even on your news station, but the resistance is growing. The resistance is strong. The resistance has had effect. And that's what we have to keep doing. We're going to be singing at the No Kings demonstration in San Francisco on June 14th. And there are No Kings demonstrations happening in all 50 states. There are also the Women's March is putting on demonstrations on June 14th, sorry, that are happening all across the country. And they are putting on circuses because they say when you elect a clown, you get a circus. So there's lots of ways for people to plug in. If you're not the person who likes to go out into the street for a circus or a demonstration, call your representatives, call your community leaders, let them know that you want people to be safe in your community when you were speaking about people being taken.
Yeah, thank you. And I think going to the rallies really helps, can help us move us into action. Like I know that it can have a cynical thought that I hear sometimes like, oh, what does marching do? Like a lot.
It does a lot.
It
Yeah.
motivates. It uplifts spirits. It reminds us that we can experience joy even in times of tyranny and cruelty,
We
and we
must.
can get
Mhm.
and we must, yeah, and
Yeah.
we get clarity from each other,
Mhm.
clarity,
Mhm.
and like, oh, here's a phone number you can call, and then I think I don't know, last week or the last time I called to leave messages to my representatives, my voice was really shaking because for two reasons. One, because it's so upsetting that we literally have to say, please don't be cruel. Please, these are human beings. Um,
Mhm.
no matter which group you're referring to.
Yeah.
Um, and, things like, due process, doesn't matter what your status is. If you're here, you deserve due process. And my voice was also shaking because I was feeling like the empowerment of like, oh, this is democracy. Oh, this is how I participate in democracy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, and it just like, it's not just about like making me feel better about myself. It's like, I want to be a part of affecting the change that you two are describing we can do.
Yeah.
Right. We do too. That's what we're trying to do. And yeah, it does take your voice shaking, and you do it anyway.
Yeah.
Just like you did.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, it's making me think, so everyone's voice matters. And maybe I thought maybe we would sing. Do you want to sing You Are Not God?
Oh, sure.
I thought we might sing this song it's another newer one of ours. And it kind of speaks to what you were just saying about having to raise our voices. And
And the different ways that people raise their voices, and from the
Mhm.
different places,
Mhm.
their voices come.
Yeah. And when everything started coming down after the election and into January, we were feeling I was feeling pretty hopeless. And then people might remember that on the day after the election, I'm sorry, not the day after, the day after the thing that used to be called an inauguration, but what we saw was so disturbing with all of those tech bros standing behind him, because clearly he wanted to let us know that he thinks they run the country. The next day, there was an interfaith National Day of Prayer, and there was a service at the Washington Cathedral. And folks might remember there was this very slight woman. She didn't have a loud voice, but she spoke to those two people who had just been sworn in the day before, and she spoke truth to power. She, her name was Reverend Bishop Marion Edgar Buddy, and she was so inspiring. Yeah, we're gonna get the words up there. Good, you got it. Yeah. To me, that I wrote this song, and some of the words and the feel of the song kind of derived from how she delivered these very potent statements that she said, and then some of the words are mine.
You didn't like the words she said, how gently she reminded you that leaders should be merciful, that people's lives are beautiful. You didn't like the truth she told, that immigrants are human too. Refugees need safety, trans kids are sacred, love shines like a rainbow.
You are not God. Let me remind you. You are one among all, no less than no greater. You are not God, and you won't use me to justify the misery and hatred you saw.
You told them that I spared you to bring you to this moment. The moment you decided allows you to take everything and give nothing. You do not know me, my spirit or my teachings. Now you know I spared you to be seated before her words.
You are not God. Let me remind you. You are one among all, no less and no greater. You are not God, and you won't use me to justify the misery and hatred you sow. Her words have traveled far now, the quiet as she spoke them, her vision bringing comfort, her courage bringing hope, her steadfastness a beacon, even as you threaten. Resilience is awakened in millions more. You are not God. Let me remind you. You are one among all, no less and no greater. You are not God, and you won't use me to justify the misery and hatred you sow. And you won't use me. You are not God.
Powerful words. Oh my gosh. I do want to let you know that we had a little bit of trouble. Sometimes you're you faded a little bit.
Oh, okay.
A little bit of technical but the song still came across.
Okay. We will get Pat closer to the mic for the next song. But I just felt like we need to take our inspiration where we get it, and that's what we do for each other. Her getting up there, the Reverend Bishop Marion Edgar Budding getting up there and speaking truth to power. It was so early on. She was one of the first people, after they were sworn in. And she took a lot of heat for it. But the more all of us speak up, it protects those people who are in a very visible position and allows them to speak up.
Sorry to interrupt. It's a frequency issue. We have the same problem with sound bowls. When people try to make sound bowls, it's nothing you can do. You guys were wonderful and it sounded great. There's a certain frequency that does not pass over well.
Interesting.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, good to know.
Wow, it's like an alto range or second soprano range. What's up? Thank you, Rebel.
Thank you. That was our tech sound engineer, Rebel. Thanks, Rebel.
Yeah, how wild.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you for reminding us of her powerful, not just powerful statement, but act of courage. And it is so true. I know this is cliche, but it's amazing how it's courageous, how humans respond if one person steps up. It just gives us just like this door flings wide open, like, oh my gosh, we can say that. Oh my gosh, you can speak that directly and that clearly and complete your sentence and just be so courageous.
It's infectious. It's great.
Infectious, that's a good word. Infectious.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking about, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. We're ready for whatever you have to say.
I'm just wondering, I mean, I know what do you have I just want to hear what you call your purposes as musicians, as activists. There's a lot of different ways, I can say it and describe it, but do you have a way, maybe each of you individually or jointly, a way of saying like, I mean, it's so obvious and that's what we're celebrating, but what is the purpose? It's kind of like what's your, the role of an artist, the role of a musician. Um, I see how you use it, but I just would love to hear you say how you would describe it.
I think one of the things that's our job, especially in more dire times, is to find ways that we can nurture our own sense of hope and possibility. It's very easy to get caught up in all of the screens and all of the news and all of the really what is a pretty narrow depiction of what's going on in the world. And we forget how much bigger the world really is than, those daily reports, those, constant 24/7 sort of barrage of the bad news. So we think of it as our job to pay attention to that because it's part of what's going on. But also be mindful of the things that feed us, the things that bring us joy, the things that remind us of our humanness, remind us of our community and how big and vibrant and beautiful and nurturing that is. We're in the business of hope and passing along that message so that people who are out there all the time doing whatever they do, juggling the 3 jobs and the kids and the whatever, the ones that are on the, the front lines in any, name it, any sort of place within the US and beyond, where the folks that have just run out of steam and are totally depleted by whatever struggle they're in, to give them something that feeds them, something that feeds their heart. What I've learned from some of the traveling I've done around the world is that cynicism is a sign of privilege, that people who are really living under dire conditions can't afford cynicism because cynicism will kill them. And the places where I found people that were most remarkably and dramatically hopeful were in places where people had the greatest need and the most difficult circumstances, because they knew that they needed hope in order to survive. And once I saw that, I felt like if they can hold hope, I can hold hope. And I can hold hope for them when they need to put it down sometimes because they're too exhausted to hold it anymore.
Wow, that's really helpful. That's really helpful to hear. That's articulated.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. I was going to add. So from my perspective, there's also the other thing we do is we're kind of like the troubadours of old. So Pat said there are so many stories that we don't get to hear. And back in the day when news was, carried by someone going from town to town and singing about it, we are still doing that because people need to be reminded about what Bishop Marion Edgar Buddy said, or they need to hear about undocumented workers who were killed in the trade centers, or whatever, a story that we don't get to hear every day. And when I was thinking about it is partly because that's how I really wanted to learn my history. I was not a person who liked to, read the history books and hear about when this war happened and when that war happened. But what did move me were songs that told me the stories of what happened in those times. So I remember I was in like 4th grade and I wrote some paper about what happened at Kent State. It was because of Neil Young's song. So that's how the information was transmitted to me. That's what the arts do, because they reach in more than a fact and they move me and they move other people.
Wow. Thank you for that too. That's amazing. Do you want to just tell me when you want to sing another song?
Well, you certainly couldn't. And what I was thinking is, Pride started as a protest. Pride, the whole concept of having queer pride. Now we call it queer pride, right? It didn't have everybody's name in it in the beginning. But the whole reason that started is because queer people in 1969 stood up and fought back against the cops who were coming after them at a bar on Christopher Street in New York City, the Stonewall Inn. And it's a party now, and it also has to remember to be a protest now, because we're in a situation where, and maybe we should do this, love, where our rights and our lives are in jeopardy. Who we love is used against us. People are, being harassed on a higher level than they used to be, being attacked. All of that stuff has escalated. Thanks with no thanks to this horrible administration. Back the other way. So that's what we'll be doing at Davis Pride, is kind of bringing some of the protest and some of the party. So maybe, if you want to let people know about what's happening at Davis Pride, and we'll tune our instruments.
Okay. There's an amazing agenda. I will, for those who can't see the screen, I'm going to scroll and let people know some of the other events that will be happening. So this is hosted by the Davis Phoenix Coalition, which is an amazing organization that sets up all kind of community events to increase love, decrease hate. And it's sponsored by Sutter Health and Dignity Health. It officially opens at 2:50 p.m. at the Davis Civic Park on B Street, 6 and B. And there is a band that was formed in Davis called Noise Violation that starts at 3:10. There's a drag review at 3:30. LSD is the host. Amelia Needmore, Eva Changing. And at 4 o'clock, there's it's a demonstration of yellow line dancing. Then there is a Sacramento Gay Men's Chorus at 4:10. And one of the oldest and largest LGBTQ plus performing arts organizations in the Sacramento region. I'm sure that'll be amazing. Carte Blanche is at 4:55. And then our headliners, Emma's Revolution, will be performing at 5:45. And there'll be a drag king showcase after that. And another headliner that Sandy mentioned, Ada Vox. And that might be is that the closing? No, there's a drag review at 7:25 p.m. So amazing day, Saturday. And are you ready?
We are.
Will you be with me? Will you see me through? When the world is harsh, can I count on you? We have come this far, now it's up to you to be there. I stood up for you, knowing I might never have a chance to show my heart in ways that others learn to take for granted. And now I am asking you, will you be with me? Will you see me through? When the world is hard, can I count on you? We've come this far, now it's up to you to be there. For this love, you don't understand. You ask why I feel so strongly about holding up this love in front of everyone around me. Because I am asking you, will you be with me? Will you see me through? When the world is harsh, can I count on you? We have come this far, now it's up to you to be there. For this love, Will you be with me? Will you see me through when the world is harsh? Can I count on you? We have come this far. Now it's up to you to be there. Will you be with me? Will you see me through when the world is harsh? Can I count on you? We have come this far. Now it's up to you to be there for this love. For this
Oh my gosh, that it's hard not to cry when, oh my gosh, this the fact lyric about every day we're beaten up is just, it's so heartbreaking. And it's not my story, but the founder of, to tell about this particular beating I'm referring to, the founder of Davis Phoenix Coalition, if you ever have a chance to meet her, Gloria Partita, that's why the Davis Phoenix Coalition exists, because she tells the story publicly. Her son was badly, brutally beaten. And it's amazing. This is their 11th Pride celebration, and it's just so incredible, the support and community they have grown over the years. And to the other lyrics, I want to just repeat that I caught, holding up this love. Will you be with me and see me through? Can I count on you to be there for this love? It's just, wow, that is so beautiful. And it makes me think of a bumper sticker that says, it's like, it's only love, right? It's love.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. What a thing to be afraid of.
Yeah. Yeah. And we had come so far, really, you know, and this is just such a brutal beating back on so many fronts, right? LGBTQ rights, women's rights, immigrant rights, everything. But we are going to have to turn it around. We're going to have to push them out of control, you know, out of the seats of control, and keep us moving forward.
Yeah, we really have to be there for one another. This is not really, as far as I'm concerned, just a celebration of LGBTQIA folks. You know, it's really a coming together of the whole community so that we can show to one another that we're there for one another.
So everyone's invited. It's a family event. I forget there's a whole, you know, there are other things that happen. There are tables. I'm sure there are like activities and for kids and this and that. But yes, it's definitely a community event.
Yes, thanks for adding that. Yeah, there will be vendors and yeah, a lot of fun activities for young people too, and multi-generational.
Yes.
With tons and tons of allies also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just we have about 5 or 6 minutes left, so I just want to you know, have you say what else you can think of right now that can help us believe and remember, because when moments it feels impossible, that we, and Sandy, thank you so much, the way you just, you know, encapsulated, there's just so much pushback and strategically kind of a continuous bombardment to confuse us and throw us off, but that we can handle it. We can be strategic. We become strategic. The inner resilience of, and it's not just Americans, but America has a good practice of protesting
Mhm.
and working for and demanding rights and going through moving forward and backlashes and then coming back out. Just any more words or concrete thoughts, whether it's inspirational words or other actions, anything else that comes to mind to help us to just keep the hope, keep moving, keep moving forward, and take a deep breath and replenish yourself when you need to. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really good point. I think that it's very easy when you're feeling overwhelmed and feeling fearful to stop taking care of yourself. I think it's easy to isolate. And I think we have to remember that we have to keep ourselves charged. We have to keep ourselves in shape so that we can go back out and do whatever it is we can do to push back against this. And part of our job is to be joyful in these times. Being joyful is an act of resistance. Give yourself that. Give yourself the things that make you feel most like you. Give yourself the things that empower you, and do whatever. Take naps, be with people. Just
Take walks in nature.
Yes, be out, go
Yes.
outside, be in the sun, do the things that can replenish you and get you out of that, shake you out of that sense that everything is horrible and it's all over. It's not all over. We have been through harder things as a people before. We are here because our people survived.
Mm-hmm.
And they survived much, much, much harder times. And it's our job to continue and move in that trajectory, fill those big shoes that came before us. But that means taking care of ourselves as we go along, because it's the only way that we can take care of one another.
beautiful. Do you want to add, Sandy?
Yes, I would. I was thinking about, we are actually named for an activist, Emma Goldman, who lived in the late 1800s into the early 1900s. And she was a fierce defender of the rights of women and free speech. And Pat often says these words, and it's true. And we need all of that defense right now. But she also knew that we need joy. And she's famous for this statement that she didn't actually utter, but she uttered the essence of the statement. She was dancing at a party and someone thought that wasn't becoming of a serious leader and writer. And she said, if I can't dance, I don't want to be part of your revolution. So we are going to be bringing the party to the protest on Saturday. We've got a lovely band joining us, electric guitar player Shelley Doty from the Bay Area, Dan Feisley on bass, and David Rokich on drums, who also happens to be my partner. So that's going to be fun. And so we're going to be having both the upliftment and the encouragement and just having a beautiful time together to celebrate who we are.
Fantastic. We have about 1.5 or 2 minutes. Is there a short song or should we just wrap up with words?
You wanted to keep on and
Yeah, we could go out on keep on.
Okay. And while you're getting ready, I'll just thank everybody now so that we can just go out when Rebel needs to shut down. Thank everybody. Thank you, Rebel. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Pat. Thank you for everyone for coming to the Davis Phoenix Coalition Saturday, June 7th and seeing Emma's Revolution and others. And the floor is yours.
Thanks so much for having us on. But yeah, we really appreciate it. Thanks, Rebel. Gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna sow the seeds of justice.
So the seeds are just heads. So the seeds are just heads. Never turning back. Never turning back.
Inarticulate speech of the heart. Inarticulate